welcome back everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Owning Your Outdoors. Joining me as always, Mr. Doug Schroeder from Lewis, and I understand we are talking about pests this week.
Yes, a really devastating pest that's hit our area, emerald ash borer. Every few years I try to update everybody and give a little background on what's going on in our part of the world here with this bad insect.
Yeah, I feel like we've been hearing about that over the last couple of years. Can you kind of highlight the history here in South Dakota?
Yep, it was introduced to the whole United States in the 1990s. It started out in Michigan, but it's been here for the last 5-6 years that I know of for sure. So it's been something that's been going on for a while, and something that we need to take a better look at throughout the community.
Those emerald ash borer, now I kind of know the name of it. It is kind of ringing a bell now. What should we typically look for in these ash trees for signs of them maybe?
The biggest thing you can look for is woodpecker activity.
Okay.
Woodpeckers have a tendency to go after the larvae of the emerald ash borer. So if you're getting a lot of woodpecker activity in your ash trees, that is a good sign that maybe you have some emerald ash borer activity going on in your trees.
Yeah, well maybe they're kind of helping out, but that's also a sign that we need to keep a keen eye on that particular tree.
That tree is infested. So that tree is going to have issues in the years to come. Another big sign for emerald ash borer is that when the canopy starts dying out.
Okay.
You get less and less canopy every year. If it gets down to 50%, chances are it is emerald ash borer. With that being said, there are other reasons canopies get light, and that can be wet weather, dry years. So sometimes trees don't thrive on because of the weather we're having.
Naturally, with all the windstorms we've been having the past several weeks too, that's kind of an issue too. But yeah, with the canopy, is there anything kind of with the trunks of the trees that we can
Yes,
look for?
it's called blonding. On your smaller ash trees with woodpecker activity, you'll get this outer layer of the bark taken off. It's called blonding.
Okay.
That is also another sign that your tree is probably infected with emerald ash borer.
Right, a lot of signs that we can kind of look for. Now let's get into kind of the treatments. What can we do to kind of help this out?
The best treatment you can do is have an arborist come out and inject your trees.
Okay.
Now this is something that needs to be done every 2 years. I just talked to a good friend of mine that is an arborist, and he injects trees till the end of August. So we have some time if you want to go this route.
Okay, interesting.
It is expensive per tree. So take that into consideration when you're evaluating what to do.
But you would probably say it's well worth it in the long run, because then you're not going to be spreading these pests or harboring these pests.
Right, that's the best option if you want to protect that tree, is to do the injections.
And you don't have to just chop it down. There are ways that you can kind of mitigate the situation.
Right, right. It's going to be some expense, but we love our trees, so it's well worth it.
I noticed you have maybe a bark spray option also. Is that as effective?
It is not quite as effective. The tree needs to not be infested. So
Okay.
you're weighing back and forth. Is the tree infested or is it not? And that needs to be done by the end of July. So we've passed that time that can actually be done.
Okay.
But yes, they spray the bottom 6 feet of the tree, and that helps prevent the emerald ash borer from getting established.
Is there anything we can maybe treat with the soil to try to prevent them?
Yes, definitely. There's a drench also. That typically needs to be done by the end of June. So, and it's not nearly as effective as the injection. I want to point out your best option of the 3 that I've mentioned is to have an arborist inject your trees.
Yeah, especially around this time of the year. Maybe if you get a jump on that earlier in the year, you can kind of get by with the soil injection and stuff. But
yes,
the best case scenario is the injection.
Yes, correct. Correct. That's what we want to do.
And I mean, if all else fails.
Right. I'm really encouraging people at this point, look at the ash trees you have on your yard or in your property. Not all trees are perfect.
Right.
And sometimes it's better to maybe thin the forest a little bit of the ash, protect the perfect or better looking trees, and get some new trees established. Let me emphasize, we're in a better position if we have a mixed forest.
Right.
Right now we're on this whole deal of planting a lot of maples. That's not good either.
No.
So you want a mixed forest throughout your neighborhood.
Yeah, you want a good variety
Yes.
to kind of mitigate the situation too.
Yes.
Well, if it does kind of come to that worst case scenario and we do end up having to remove the tree, how do we kind of go about that?
The best time of the year to have the tree removed is October through April.
Okay.
That's when you should have the tree removed. emerald ash borer is less active and less likely to spread to other healthy trees. The worst time to take a tree down is from May all the way through September. Don't even attempt at that point. You're just going to be spreading the borer.
Right, to your already healthy trees too.
Correct.
Is there any other tips and tricks you might have about removing these trees?
No, I would encourage you not to do it yourself. It really takes a person that knows what they're doing to remove a tree, and get in touch with a professional and have them take care of it for you.
Most definitely. I would not attempt this by myself. Would you say it's generally maybe a little bit easier to remove in a live tree rather than a tree that's a little too far gone?
Yes, if you, it's much less expensive to remove
Okay.
a live tree than to remove a dead tree or almost dead tree. With a dead tree, things are more brittle, there's more things that can happen, and the expense is usually higher.
Right, more things that could kind of go wrong with
Yes, definitely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here today, Doug. And just a reminder, you can watch this episode and any previous episode of Owning Your Outdoors anytime on DakotaNewsNow.com and any of these streaming platforms that you see on your screen. Well, stick around. We'll be back after the break.